Alright, welcome everybody. We have another build guide for last Epoch here, and this time around we are having another Runemaster build. We are using Fireclaw, we're converting into fire, and we are basically an Ignite build in this version of it. You can do a lot of things on Fireclaw. This is one of them. This is a build I played on my first Runemaster. I loved it. It's very easy to set up, very good to level up and farm your blessings, farm your gear. You can get to 300 corruption, no problem at all. I've already done tier 4 Jura, not an issue there. It was a very easy kill. The premise of the build is pretty easy. We are gonna be using Runic Evocation on Cold Fire Cold here, and we're getting our Raymond's Frostguard. We're getting our 30% damage reduction and a lot of burst ward and ward generation out of it. And we are just spamming teleport around. We are proccing elemental novas. They all get ignited, and most of the monsters will be dying just from that while you're clearing echoes. And of course, on your single target, you're just spamming your Fireclaw and you're teleporting on your target on cooldown. As you can see, we are getting a lot of ignites, usually hitting 400 to 500 ignite stacks on bosses, and that's pretty good. Other than that, let's go into the skills and see how it all works out. We're gonna start our Fireclaw here. We're getting minus mana cost here. We are traveling into Celestial Conflux and we're getting the Elemental Nova proc chance. We are converting into fire. We're getting 3 points into Bright Force because that's very important. We're getting Element Cleanse and extra cast speed. Volley of Glass so that all the projectiles hit at the same target. And of course, Shiver Cell for extra ward generation. This is one of the most insane nodes, by the way, on the tree. Now, in case that you don't have all the gear yet, or for some reason you need more mana cost to get your Fireclaw into 0 mana cost, you can remove 1 point here and 1 point from Spark of Celerity and go into Frozen Rain. You're gonna get another -3 mana cost. Now, let's go into Elemental Nova. Elemental Nova is very simple. We're getting maximum ignite chance and elemental penetration. We are going into Arcane Projector so that our Fireclaw procs an Elemental Nova on our targets and not on ourselves. And of course, we're getting a little bit extra damage and area with the rest of the points. Runic Evocation, very simple setup. We are traveling down here to Author of Arcana and Immutable Order. That's what basically locks our Runic Evocation in whatever runes that the elements of our skills and our skill bar have. So we are using Cold, Fire, Cold for Raymond's Frostguard, and we are only using that one. We are going into the Runic Energy. We are getting our stacks up. Runic Energizer, just a little bit accumulation speed, and of course 4 points here just to get the 100% chance to repeat. When Raymond's Frostguard repeats at 10 stacks, is 100%, you will be getting 2 times the ward burst from it, but not the ward generation, right? It's just a lot of nice extra ward for protection. Teleport's very simple. We're just traveling down here, getting all the Elemental Nova procs from our teleport, and then we are getting the flat armor here and the cold resistance. This is a buff that we have permanent uptime, since our teleport has like 2.7 cooldown, and this one only needs basically every 4 seconds to be casted. And we're getting extra cooldown recovery rate here, a little bit extra duration, and everything is very good and easy. Flame Ward. Now for the Flame Ward, we're gonna have 2 different setups. I have 2 different setups on our planner as well, because I have an early and a late game planner. Again, originally you will be traveling here to Dual Edges to get the extra +1 charge. If you get +1 charge on your body armor, then the tree will change up a little bit and it will look like that. In this case, we are getting extra ward per second on our Flame Ward, and we are maxing out Frostguard for a flat 1000 armor. Now, on the previous iteration, when we were going into the Dual Edges, you just not getting any of that, and we are only have 3 points here. It's still pretty good setup. If you want the 3 flame charges, that's up to you. You don't need to go here, and you can only have like 3 points here, and you're good to go on your setup. As long as you're converting to cold, you can put it here, and the cold fire cold will be always activated. Now let's go to the planners. As I said before, we have 2 planners. Again, this is gonna be early game, and this is gonna be late game. In the early game, we're only level 80. I have the passive tree set up as level 80, so that you know what nodes to prioritize. Not a lot of things are changing in the passive tree, and once again on the flame ward I'm having this setup over here, just to know how to get it done. I don't have any blessings, just a couple of idols, just ignite duration on our ornate idols if you can get it, and everything else just whatever you want on the build to make it work. I'm using a wand to start with. We are of course swapping into a scepter, fire starter torch later on, but I only have tier 5 modifiers here, just to show you what you need to aim while you're leveling your character. Now let's go to the end game build planner and talk a little bit more in detail. Let's start with the passive tree. We are starting with the mage tree. We're getting arcanist for the intelligence, of course, extra damage here, and we're getting mage flurry, cast speed, and of course cooldown recovery rate for our teleport and snap freeze, because we do use snap freeze on our skill bar. Ice and fire, just extra ignite chance, really good. Now from the sword we only get arcane momentum for the cast speed here, and the extra intelligence. We want as much intelligence as we can on the build. Intelligence is gonna scale our cooldown recovery rate from ancient description. That means more teleports, more ignites, and much better clear and movement on your echoes. And of course intelligence still scales our ward detention and our damage. Now, for the rest of the Runemaster tree, Sphere of Protection, pretty standard stuff. We're maxing out Unsealed Mana, Arcane Focus, and Mental Catalysis. This is a lot of intelligence right here, and we're getting a lot of ward generation from Arcane Focus. Also, Mental Catalysis with our boots, it's gonna cap our crit avoidance. I'm gonna show you the boots in a minute. These points here on Transcendence, they're flexible. It's the last 6 points that you will be getting from 94 to level 100. But other than that, if you want to move them into something different because you want it, that's up to you. I like the extra ward per second. We're getting decent ward per second on the build, so why not? Also, the health is a little bit good, because if you go for the experimental affix for the missing ward on your gloves, that's a little bit extra value out of it. Nothing too insane though. As I said, they're flexible points. Now just get 2 travel points here and go into freezing point. 6 points on inscribed instruments. That's a lot of ward detention because we're using a scepter. We're getting Decree of the Burning Wind, and we're getting more damage multiplier on bosses and rares for our single target mostly, and elemental damage with damage over time. That's very important. Now if you don't have a shock chance on hit affix, you don't take Rune Ward Inferno, just grab another point on freezing point. But if you do have shock chance from anything in your gear, then you do take 1 point on Inferno here, because that's gonna give you extra armor against the shocked enemies. This is not gonna appear on your character sheet, and it's just extra defense. All right. Now, the main uniques that you need for the build to get it started is Fire Starter Torch and Calamity. Those are the 2 uniques that they're gonna activate your build, and they're both extremely easy to get. Fire Starter Torch you can get from level 1, Calamity from level 7, so basically you can equip those and you can just level up from the campaign, go through your normal monoliths and empowered monoliths, farm your blessings and everything else you want with this build. That's the best part about this build. If you don't have them, don't worry, just follow the early game guide and you're gonna be fine. Now, for the Fire Starter Torch, because it's such an easy item to drop, and a lot of people, I already know that they have Fire Starter Torches with 3 LP, even 4 LP. I'm just putting 4 affixes here. This is the best scepter, in my opinion, to slam it into your LP Firestarter torches. You need the Caspid, you need the minus mana cost, you need the soak chance for Runeward Inferno, and you need the Ignite. Now, for Calamity, you just need the chance to Ignite on fire hit, extra intelligence. You can also get fire damage over time as a second prefix. You can get increased life if you want as a suffix, but those are probably the best ones you can get. One brass amulet, just get elemental damage over time and damage over time, and your suffixes are open here for resistances, whatever you need to cap it in your build. Opulent Focus is the best catalyst base we can get. Just get Caspid and increase damage over time. We want the word per second of the suffix if you can afford it and you don't need a resistance very bad. But other than that, pretty simple stuff. For our chest, this is actually an important part of the build. Chance to Ignite on fire hit, tier 6 or tier 7 if you have it, it's gonna be really good. And try to seal the tier 1 prefix word gain the extra flame word, because that's probably one of the best tier 1 sealed affixes you can have in the entire game, so try to get it. Other than that, excuse me, your suffixes are easy and open. Get armor, get increased health, get resistance if you want, whatever, just to fill up your gear. Now belt, we do need cooldown recovery rate here at tier 6 or tier 7, but tier 6 is completely fine. You don't really need tier 7 from it because we're scaling cooldown recovery rate from intelligence again. So prefixes are extremely simple in this belt because we don't need the ailment cleanse mode, so just elemental damage over time, fire damage. Belt is extremely easy to craft and it's not gonna give you a lot of trouble. For the rings, Ivory Ring and Opal Ring, both of them are good bases to get either ward retention or cooldown recovery rate. I'm using one of each, and other than that, for affixes, just get intelligence and elemental damage over time on Exalted, and suffixes are pretty open for your resistances. Now, Soulfire, we already talked about this. This is the best relic we can get for the build. Just get Caspid and elemental damage over time if you have with LP. It is fairly common to drop Soulfire with 2 LP, so try to get both of them. If you only have one, prioritize Caspid on 1 LP Soulfires. Now, for the boots, I am using Fiery Dragon Shoes. This is a really nice piece for the build because we don't have a lot of fire penetration, and we're getting up to 35% fire penetration with Ignite on those boots. Also, with the reduced bonus damage taken from critical strikes that they have, we are capping our crit avoidance with our passives, so you don't need to expend a blessing on it, and everything becomes much easier on your gear in process. If you happen to have 1 LP, try to get movement speed on them, but it's not needed really. Now for the plated for the gloves here, you don't need plate gloves. You can get Caspid gloves. It doesn't really matter the base here because we want the experimental affix missing health, and we want extra Caspid. If you don't have a pair of gloves like that, don't worry about it. You can just use Swaddling of the Erased. You can get Intelligence or Caspid on them, and everything is fine. This is a really nice pair. I've been using that for a long time on this build, and it's completely fine. If you can get the missing health experimental affix on a good item, then you can use that, because then you utilize your health pool into becoming extra ward for us. Now, for the blessings, let's go to the blessings first. Blessings are very easy. Black Sun, only health is the important one. There are not a lot of good blessings we can get on this. If you want the void resistance, grab the void resistance, that's completely fine. We are getting all resistance from Rival Dragons. Again, we don't need the crit avoidance. Spirits of Fire, flat armor, and Edge of Winter, increased armor. Pretty simple stuff. And for the End in the Storm blessing, I'm having ward per second here. If you need light resistance, you can choose that one, but it's pretty simple, and it's not anything mandatory. Now, for our idols, you do want to get a Throne of Ambition when you can. It drops from the Stolen Lands Monolith boss. It's not very tough to farm, but that's probably the best idol we can get, more fire damage from the stacks, and of course more armor. We are hitting about 3.5k armor with our flame ward and teleport buffs, so basically this is gonna give us a lot more survivability on bosses. I've been face tanking Orobis, all bosses I've done. I face tanked Jura, everything was fine. So ornate glass idol, that's the other important part. We want the prefix with the ignite duration. Try to get as close as 25% roll on that one. If you can get a suffix with increased fire damage over time, that's a nice bonus, but the prefix on this idol is the most important part. Other than that, 2 grand glass idols with damage over time and fire damage over time, if you can get them. And you can get 1 large arcane idol here with extra penetration, and also as a suffix you can add the chance to gain lightning edges. This is gonna add another defensive layer, but it's not gonna be very consistent. For the last idol slots, you can either get Hamel idol with vitality as a prefix and any resistance that you need as a suffix, or you can go into the stout to get more life and life on your suffix. And I think that's everything from our gearing. Just 20 things here. I've already played this build on 2 different rune masters. It's, as I said, very easy to set up. You can farm 300 corruption, no problem at all. I've already done a lot of farming. I've been playing this build on stream for a few days. I've done tier 4 Jura, very easy. Our DPS is pretty good. Single target does okay, and our clear is really high. We have low cooldown our teleport, so we can teleport around on our echoes, so mobility is pretty fine as well. Tankiness is good. It's a nice well-rounded build that you don't have a lot of investment. It does have a lower ceiling than other Runemaster builds I've played, like Frostbite and stuff like that, but this is just a very nice one to get you started. I think that is it for this build guide. We talked about everything. If you play the build, if you have any questions, you can always drop by from on my stream. I'm streaming almost every day, so it's very easy to find me, and I'm always happy to answer your questions. If you play the build, please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or any feedback about it, and I'm always very glad to listen into those. And of course, if you like the build, just please hit a like button or a subscribe button, and we got more content coming for Last Epoch and other games very soon. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.